Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
The camera caught it clear as day, a man breaking into cars, and now police need your help in finding him. Sean?
But first, Michigan State Police are making changes about who they'll chase in the city of Detroit. Thanks for being with us for the news at 5. Also today, we're hearing from the lawyer representing the officer who tased Damon Grimes during that chase. The
incident has caused a lot of anger in the community, as we saw last night. It's also led to a $50 million lawsuit. Jermont Terry has the new developments from the newsroom. Jermont.
Devin, let's make it very clear. These changes are directly related to the death of Damon Grimes. MSP saying it's reviewing its pursuit policy, and until that's wrapped up, no trooper should engage in any pursuits in the city of Detroit. 15-year-old Damon Grimes was tased and eventually crashed his ATV over the weekend. ATV four-wheelers are illegal to drive on city streets, and when State Trooper Mark Bessner spotted the teen, he engaged in a pursuit that ultimately ended deadly. The trooper's attorney saying Bessner made a, quote, split-second decision when he opted to deploy the taser, insisting Grimes was driving recklessly and dangerously. The teen's family and friends are upset. Wednesday night, close to 200 displayed their outrage by demonstrating in the streets. Grimes' mother can't believe Trooper Bessner opted to chase her son on the ATV and, more importantly, deployed the taser from the moving squad car.
It shouldn't have to be like this. He was only 15. He enjoyed riding his bike. That's what he loved. He wasn't doing no harm like he was committing a crime or anything like that. So I just don't understand. I just want justice for Day Day.
The family has already filed a $50 million lawsuit. Michigan State Police suspended Bessner while the case is under review. And now, effective immediately, MSP will no longer chase anyone for traffic violations or minor offenses. The no pursuit ban for MSP only applies for chases in Detroit. Right now, there are two separate investigations underway. State Police conducting its own review, and Chief Craig has launched another investigation into what happened by DPD. Live in the newsroom, Jermont Terry, Local 4.
Jermont, what are the conditions of this suspension for the trooper?
Well, right now, Devin, the trooper is suspended, and that suspension does come with pay.
With pay. All right, Jermont.
All right, we bring you a developing story right now. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services has confirmed Michigan's first cases of West Nile virus. Total of 4 cases are reported, 2 coming out of Oakland and Macomb counties, the other 2 out of Montcalm County. All 4 people have been hospitalized. The Department of Health and Human Services reminds everyone to protect themselves against mosquito bites.
5 days. Children in Detroit be headed back to school, but if something doesn't happen pretty quickly, a lot of classrooms will look like this. That's because there just aren't enough teachers right now. Sean Lay live at Ben Carson High School. And Sean, the district holding a very last-minute hiring fair.
You could call it a blitz. Let me show you around here, Devin. Here's just part of the parking lot. It started filling up within the hour, I would say. It's completely packed. This man, among dozens of others, flocking in here, hoping to land one of those teaching jobs in the district. Make no mistake, this is a big-time teacher shortage. If you are a parent, this is alarming. As parents are scrambling to get their kids ready to go back to school, Detroit Public Schools are scrambling to get hundreds of teachers into classrooms. In an ultimate last-minute rush, the district is hosting a teacher hiring fair at this very moment. The district needs to hire a whopping 258 teachers, with school starting in just days. They know they are down to the wire.
Our teachers, our parents, and our students deserve a full-time teacher in every classroom.
The district has hired teachers all summer long, starting with more than 400 teachers needed and getting 200 plus new teachers in place. Still, the district is short so many teachers, in part because the district is taking on EAA schools. Retirements and resignations play a role. And there are so many openings, the district admits some classrooms won't actually have a teacher in them when kids get to school next week.
We'll have full-time substitute teachers at the school to fill any vacancies. And, you know, when you look at the vacancies, we're talking about usually 1 or 2 at individual schools. So it's not as if we have a massive number of teacher vacancies across the district.
Back here live, in fact, new Superintendent Nikolai Vitti, only been on the job this summer since May, shared with you, Devin, that his 4 children are enrolled in Detroit public schools. He is confident that they will have a solid teacher at the helm on day 1 or a solid sub as they continue this hiring blitz. Look, it's going on here until 7 o'clock tonight. They need more than 250 teachers here, but the hiring will continue throughout the school year as well. Devin, back to you.
All right, Sean. And by the way, Nikolai Vitti will be my guest Sunday morning on Flashpoint. Now to the Tigers making news today. The team making a move at the trade deadline, sending away one of the few bright spots of the year.
You're right, Bernie, he's here now. This wasn't the Justin that we were thinking about.
I mean, you're talking about Verlander, and I think he's still in play also. But the reason everyone's dealing today, I want to catch everyone up, is because it's the last day a team can use a player in the playoffs that they've acquired. And the Tigers have sent outfielder Justin Upton to the Angels. We've got highlights of Upton having an excellent year, maybe his best in the majors. Angels will assume the rest of his salary for this season and the remaining 4 years. That's over $88 million left on his deal. To get Upton, they gave up a minor league pitcher, Grayson Long. He's the 8th best prospect in the Angels system. Remember, Upton could opt out of his contract after this year, and with the Tigers undergoing a rebuild, you got to figure he isn't going to stay. So you got to get something.
Yeah. But you think Justin Verlander's still on the board here?
From what I hear, they're still in play. There's still a lot of juggling. It's till midnight tonight, so stay tuned, as they say.
All right, Bernie. Thank you.
Well, Southeast Texas, of course, still reeling from the effects of Hurricane Harvey, and they will be for a long time.
And let's get you caught up on the latest information now. High water rescues have been going on for a week and show no signs of letting up. Also overnight, a chemical plant in nearby Crosby, Texas exploded, triggering a huge fire.
President Trump has announced he is donating personally $1 million to help the recovery effort. And there's more good news. Water is finally starting to recede in some areas. They've been waiting for that sign. Jay Gray has the story from Houston tonight. Jay?
Good evening, Devin. Good evening, Kimberly. This is that reality right now in so many homes where just last week they were going through their normal daily routines. Much of that normal is now soaked and stacked up out by the street. It's become part of a difficult, tragic daily routine. Survivors pulled to safety in areas still underwater, and patients moved from hospitals in the strike zone. Over 7 straight days, tens of thousands have been rescued in Southeast Texas, and the effort is still far from over in neighborhoods where the water just won't go away.
There is no storm as tough as the people of Texas.
A toughness so many are relying on right now.
Once we clear our assignment grids,
in spots where the water has started to recede, the mission on the ground is beginning to change.
Fire department.
First responders going door to door. Families getting back into their storm-ravaged homes.
You feel mad, angry, sad, and then just mentally exhausted.
Many, like April Rangel, searching for anything they can save.
It's more the memorabilia, your photos, and the stuff that, was her mother's that we're trying to really salvage.
But there's little left. Piles of debris have replaced the pools of water, and this is just the beginning of the recovery.
Eventually, one of the largest missions that's going to take place is mucking out houses and helping people try to save their homes.
Hundreds of thousands of homes battered by Harvey. FEMA estimates 450 to 500,000 homes have been affected by Harvey. In Houston, Jay Gray, Local 4.
500,000 homes. All right, Jay. A Local 4 is teaming up with the American Red Cross, working to get help for those affected by Harvey with our Help for Houston phone bank.
Consumer investigator Hank Winchester is live in the phone bank right now. And Hank, the outpouring of support has just been awesome.
It has been amazing, and we are truly appreciative. You talk about 500,000 homes. Think about all the people living in those homes no longer without a house. That's why we are teaming up with the Red Cross to get help to the people of Texas that need it so much. The number you can call is 313-298-WDIV. Again, 313-298-WDIV. We're going to be here through our early evening newscast. I've been getting a lot of emails and Facebook messages from people, too, saying, I'm trying to call through, but the line is busy, so we have another opportunity for you to give. In fact, it's going to be this weekend at Arts Beats and Eats. We are teaming up with Arts Beats and Eats and the Red Cross. We're going to be there all weekend long, accepting donations as you make your way through the gate. states. You'll see people wearing special shirts and holding signs, checkpoints where you can then make a donation while you're in Royal Oak for the big Arts, Beats, and Eats Festival. About 300,000 people expected, so we hope to see many of you, and we also hope to collect more money for the people that need it so much down in Houston. We're live here in the phone bank. We'll be back with another live update very soon. Devin, Kimberly, back to you.
All right, Hank, and we want to mention the company that owns our station also owns 2 stations in Texas and one of them in Houston.
That's right, and those who work there, as you can imagine, are exhausted. So we sent reinforcements to help, including reporter Nick Monacelli. They've been working around the clock, and we're on the air in Texas in a rescue boat when an incredible rescue was made. We'll go live to Houston to talk to Nick and see the video that they shot. That's coming up in our next half hour.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it really
Make sure
was.
you stick around for that.
Meanwhile, our coverage of Harvey's aftermath continues on clickondetroit.com.
And that includes a detailed explanation of why we won't truly know the death toll from Harvey for a very long time. You'll find the link to that story under the News tab at Click on Detroit.
All right, now to a Local 4 update. A Detroit man is charged in connection with the murder of Douglas Calhoun and the human trafficking of a 17-year-old girl. 26-year-old Trayvon Eugene Johnny Bakersville is accused of killing Chef Doug after they got into an argument back in June. On the same day, it is alleged that a 17-year-old girl called Chef Doug to arrange a date at Bakersville's home. During that date is when the two broke out into an argument that led to gunfire. Bakersville is set to be arraigned tomorrow.
It's already plenty, but that is just the start of what we've got here for you on this Thursday at 5.
And we've got a lot more coming up, including explosive charges. What this man is accused of doing that left multiple Metro Detroit communities on edge for more than a week. And the U.S. Coast Guard is closing up early around the Great Lakes, why some Coast Guard stations are already closed. Hi, Ben.
Hey, Kim, you probably felt the difference already outside. Temperatures definitely cooler, and we're on our way to the coldest night this week. We'll look at those numbers in your 4-zone forecast coming up.
Well, you wouldn't expect a criminal to try and break into cars at a business while it's open and busy, but that's exactly what one guy did, and how he got into one vehicle might surprise you.
New at 6.
A retired Metro Detroit priest now facing prison time. How investigators uncovered years of stealing from a local parish.
They're a nuisance in communities all over southeast Michigan. New at 6, where all these flying ants may be coming from.
A thief in Ecorse breaking into cars at a restaurant during the lunch rush.
But what he didn't know about was a high-quality camera system recording his every move. As Jason Colthorpe reports, police have a good look and a good chance to get what appears to be an experienced thief off the streets.
The video is just going to blow you away. A cool and calm criminal moseying up to vehicles, breaking in, and one of them quite creatively.
That's what blows my mind. Broad daylight.
Yeah, broad daylight. There's his white Ford, maybe a Fusion, with tinted windows and his red pants. A crook not too worried about being noticed as he breaks into a few cars Tuesday behind Taco Especial in Ecorse.
He left a big old mess in the truck.
Cristobal Cabrera got out of work and found her SUV a wreck, leaving her
furious, violated more than anything to know that somebody's been in your car, and they went through all your stuff. I have personal information there. I have my address, my billing address.
And watch how he gets into her SUV. Climbs right in the back window, and later comes out with a speaker without a care in the world.
He leaves his car as he walks down the alley with the speaker. He waves to another person.
He sure does. And check the other angle. As a car goes by, our casual criminal has a "Hey, how you doing?" for a would-be witness.
The car comes by and he's waving to them like he knows them and everything, and we were kind of laughing when we were watching the video. I hope he gets caught to stop. People actually work for what they have. He went through their car, he went through my car, he thought nobody was watching, but we were watching.
Yeah, he has not gotten away with it yet. He is still out there right now, but as you can see, police with a good look at him, a good look at that getaway vehicle. Again, a white Ford passenger car, possibly a Fusion. If you know anything about this or recognize any part of that video, call Ecorse Police. Kimberly?
So, Jason, the way the guy is waving at people, you might have reason to believe he might be local to that area. Are police saying anything about that?
Well, they aren't yet because they're not sure, but the people that work there, that's exactly one of the reasons why, Kim, they think he might be local. He's just so casual about being in that area, not worried about being spotted, casually walking in and out of camera, and he took his time. And they also think if he is from around there, he might have thought there were no cameras at that restaurant. Just last Tuesday, they upgraded to that system. He may not have known that. In fact, this is so good, they got the neighboring business to also upgrade. So they're really hoping if he's a career criminal, this isn't going to keep happening.
All right. Okay, Jason, we appreciate it.
Some breaking news just into us. A motel in the Charter Township of Royal Oak is being forced to close its doors after being condemned. That for a list of violations. Police say the Royal Inn Motel at 8 Mile and Myers has not been maintained to minimum code. The list includes 17 fire code violations, 33 building code violations. All the residents of the motel have been told they've got to vacate by September 6th, but we're told those residents will be provided with assistance in relocation and care.
Okay, so let's see what's going on with our forecast here. We can certainly feel a little difference out there.
Yep. Got cooler today.
As you promised. Yep.
Humidity took off. It generally almost went headlong into fall. But not yet.
Well, and a cool night ahead, right?
That's true. Coldest of the forecast. But we're going to put the brakes on that acceleration into autumn here because it does look like summer's going to come back in the 7-day forecast. Clouds from Harvey starting to make it into the southern end of the state, and you can see those cirrus clouds just sort of brushing our south zone. Everything north of there has been cumulus clouds influenced by that flow off of the lake. And those north winds definitely noticeable out there, 10 to 15 miles an hour with that cooler, drier air today. Here's where Harvey is right now. You see it circulating, pushing some of that moisture off to its east. But watch what happens when we put the rainfall forecast here. Some of the heaviest rain's actually going to be right there in central parts of Kentucky over the next 48 to 72 hours. This will take us through noon, or I should say midnight, late Saturday, early Sunday. And the northern extent of Harvey's rain just comes into northern parts of Ohio. So we're not going to have to deal with the rain, but we will be seeing some clouds from Harvey. In fact, from our vantage point here downtown, as you look further south, you can see as those cloud decks get higher and higher. Some of that cirrus is visible just off to our south. 70 degrees at Metro right now. We do have that north-northeast wind at 14 miles an hour. Humidity much lower than what we were dealing with yesterday. Last night's sunset looked pretty nice, at least from Mike's vantage point in St. Clair Shores. This is one of our storm pins that we got in. We'll probably see another nice sunset with those clouds out there tonight. So high pressure is behind the front, and that's going to keep us dry. Once we get into the weekend, we really don't have any significant rain to talk about, unfortunately, until Labor Day Monday. And we'll discuss that here in a minute. But you can see the extent of Harvey's rain just gets into northern parts of Ohio, and then that low starts to pull off further to the east. This cold front likely going to come through dry here in southeast Michigan on Sunday, but it's Monday's rain that could be an issue for the holiday. Right now, it looks like most of that should happen late, so we'll get at least a good chunk of the holiday weekend in before that happens. Look at these lows tonight. 40s in most spots, just to 50 in the city of Detroit. South zone temperatures, a lot of 40s down here as well. Slightly milder towards the lake at 50 in Monroe and Luna Pier. Some of our coolest numbers maybe out here in our west zone. 46 in Howell, 45 in Fenton. Flint and Clarkston also at 45, and north of M59, that northeast flow off the lake may actually keep those temperatures just a little bit milder here towards Lexington and Port Huron, but generally mid 40s for most of our north zone tonight. And that's as cold as we're going to have to deal with. Everything starts warming up from there, but again, close to 70 tomorrow afternoon and Saturday before temperatures jump on Sunday, and Monday starts to feel a little bit more summer-like. And of course, we've got thunderstorms in the forecast. Those do look like they'll be late. By the way, we're going to be live with weather out at Arts Beats and Eats tomorrow. And I know you talked about how Local 4 and the Red Cross will be raising money out there tomorrow.
Exactly right. And in fact, we hope you'll join us tomorrow night for our Arts Beats and Eats live special. Rhonda, Everett, and Brandon will all be in Royal Oak with a look at all the food, fun, and music that you won't want to miss.
That's right. It'll air tomorrow night at 7:30 right here on Local 4.
Looks like a good stretch of days for it, too. Well, a local veteran gets a gift he will never forget. New at 5, what happened at his house today that truly took a village to get done.
But first, this Michigan teen is heading to prison for a long time, and an entry in a diary is what put him there. We'll explain next.
And as we head to break, we want to remind you our Help for Houston phone bank up and running. We're working with the Red Cross to help raise money for the victims in Texas. To donate, call 313-298-WDIV. We'll be right back.
Across Michigan, tonight stories from Battle Creek and Harbor Beach up in the thumb.
Also from Muskegon County in the town of Ravenna. That's where an 18-year-old is going to serve a minimum of 5 years in prison for the rape of a 12-year-old girl. Taylor James Dewson pleaded guilty to first-degree criminal sexual conduct in July. Case came to the attention of the Muskegon County Sheriff's Department because the victim's mother read her diary. The victim and Dewson met through a mutual friend in 2016. Dewson had no criminal history till now, but he'll serve a minimum of 5, a maximum of 35 years in prison.
5 Coast Guard units across the Great Lakes region are closing early this year to help assist with Hurricane Harvey rescue efforts. Coast Guard personnel, flight crews, airboats, and inflatable rescue crafts have been sent from the Great Lakes region to Houston and surrounding areas. Thousands of people who became trapped in their neighborhoods after the Category 4 storm hit late last week have been rescued. Cereal giant, the Kellogg company plans to lay off 223 salaried and hourly employees at its Battle Creek plant.
The move intended to decrease the overall cost of production. Earlier this year, the company announced it was eliminating 250 jobs at its headquarters and closing 39 distribution centers nationwide. Before the cuts are finalized, the union in Battle Creek will review the proposal, but if approved, the cuts would begin in 2018.
New at 5:30.
They are the mothers and fathers on the front lines of America's battle against opioids.
It's very fulfilling. I feel really good about it. And the first couple times I did it, I went back to my car and had a good cry.
What these parents are doing that is saving lives and why they're uniquely suited to do it. On the ground in the hurricane zone, Local 4's Nick Monacelli joins us live from Houston with an up-close look at the devastation.
It was a firebombing spree that went on across Metro Detroit in the last week.
To be honest with you, I thought it was a bomb or something.
So how is it the police found the man that they've arrested? We'll have details.
Explosive charges. A Metro Detroit man formerly charged for setting off commercial-grade fireworks inside a church chapel. Police say it's just the beginning. And it tops our news at 5:30. 2 area police departments saying they were able to put a serial arsonist behind bars.
They claim his choice of commercial-grade fireworks made for a dangerous week around Metro Detroit. Our Rod Maloney was in the courtroom as he was formally charged.
It was just this morning that we learned that this business, the House of Beverage on Cherry Hill in Dearborn, was one of 3 different buildings in the last week that has been, for all intents and purposes, firebombed. A commercial firework either lit inside or beside the building with the apparent belief that these buildings could be burned to the ground. Now, Dearborn police have made an arrest, and they brought that man to 19th District Court in Dearborn today, and he's facing some very serious felony charges. 43-year-old David Allen Cern of Inkster appeared before Judge Mark Somers this morning. He was there because Dearborn police believe this also is Cern, walking into the Divine Child Chapel August 23rd. You don't see it, but police say he grabbed a Bible, set it on the floor, put a commercial-grade firework on top of the Bible, and lit the explosive. You can see a startled woman seated nearby running for her life. Later that night, police say he came here to the liquor store, bought cigarettes, and then threw a similar firework into the outside trash can, giving owner Sivon Zatuna's heart a jolt.
It was really, really loud. I mean, honestly, we got really afraid.
Charged with felony arson, Cern is an unemployed Army veteran who lives with his father. But when asked where he lives, he responded,
I reside in the Wayne County Jail.
Dearborn PD arrested him there after hearing from Inkster PD that they'd arrested Cern for allegedly throwing one of his lit fireworks at an occupied house there. Divine Child Pastor Jim Belo had this to say about the bombing in his chapel.
So I was just praying that whatever his issues are, that he will be okay and that we get him the help that he needs.
When you take a look at the propane tank just steps away from the trash can, you begin to understand that there was massive potential danger in this case. Fortunately, nobody was hurt. Cern will be back in court later on this month. In Dearborn, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
Inkster police say they were able to find Cern after the homeowner got a good look at him and his car. Cern remains in the Wayne County Jail with $100,000 cash surety bonds on 4 different felonies.
The images of the devastation That we're seeing in Southeast Texas, absolutely heartbreaking. So many lives in danger, so many homes destroyed. Throughout the ordeal, though, hope still seems to remain for Houston. Nick Monacelli has been in Houston all week, actually working for the TV station that our parent company also owns, KPRC. Nick, you have been on an airboat today. I was watching earlier, you've had an extraordinary day, but at this point, I guess they're all extraordinary.
You know, almost every encounter has been extraordinary, and most of it, Devin, because of all the first responders and volunteers that are here helping. Now, the waters have really not receded at all. This is about the shallowest the water is. In fact, if you look behind me, you see the top of that gray truck. That, in fact, is a pickup truck. That's all you can see, and it gets deeper and deeper the further you go in. If you look around me, there are still volunteers from multiple organizations that are here with their boats lined up to take people either out to try to get some of their things in, or more importantly, a lot of these airboats have been lined up to go in rescuing people and looking for more. In fact, we were on one of those airboats just about an hour ago. This was the scene. A woman ran up to the sheriff's deputies that are here in Fort Bend County, which is just outside of Houston, ran up and said, "My grandmother is still trapped inside of her house." She was on the second story. She said that originally her grandma thought she was going to be okay. They didn't think the water was going to rise the way it did. It is now 4, 5, 6, even 7 feet deep in some areas. So grandma grabbed some peanut butter crackers and tried to stay nourished for the past couple of days, and that clearly is not going to hold somebody, especially when you are 70 plus years old. So the sheriff's department grabbed yet another airboat, jumped on, threw us on with them as well, and said, "We have another rescue to go on." And this is one example of hundreds and hundreds of rescues that have been happening between airboats and civilian boats and Coast Guard helicopters flying all over us for the past several days. And then we finally got to Virginia Webb's house, the grandmother who needed rescuing. And there she is. She is out safe. Hi.
Nick, you might need help.
Yep.
Yeah, best to back up here a little bit. You may want to sit down on your. Okay. Well. All right, I'm going to help you. Okay.
Here we go. Well, it's okay. Just a hat. There we go. Okay. Thank you. Come on, sit down right here. Okay.
Okay.
I got you. And we're going to bump this through. There we go. Take a big step down. There you go. How are you? Is everything okay?
I'm fine. The house is not. Well, the first floor is not, but I'm fine.
Yeah. So you didn't want to leave, right? You thought things weren't going to be this bad?
Yeah. I'm from New Orleans, and I've lived all my life, you know, with hurricanes and whatever, and never anything like this.
It has been unbelievable and heartbreaking to see what has been going on here as you see yet another boat going out to try to rescue more family members. Devin, I want to paint the scene here. You're looking around at this video, you can see the devastation, and this is just one of dozens of neighborhoods in the Houston area that have experienced and are experiencing the very same thing. Water that is up into their garages, up into their first floors, completely flooding their basements. They ran out of here not knowing when they are going to be able to return home. Now, I want to come back out live and explain to you what the problem is right now. You see that over there? That's the sun. And they saw this for the first time yesterday. It is giving, though, a false sense of security to many people because they think that once the sun comes out, once the rain has stopped here, that these waters would eventually going to go down. That has not happened. It is not going to happen for maybe 2 additional weeks. And part of the reason is the reservoirs that are not far from where we're standing right now, they have been doing a couple of things. A, some water has been spilling over the top of them, but they also have to release additional water out of those areas to make sure the dams don't bust wide open. In the meantime, this water again is going to stay the same way, and there is active electricity, feces, bacteria, a lot of things that people are wading in to try to get their things. The county sheriff here saying, don't even attempt it. It is not worth risking your life. In fact, they just pulled 2 more bodies out of this water yesterday.
Heartbreaking. The enormity of it is still so difficult to grasp, but we've been watching your work, and we're just so proud of you and Doda and Norm and the work that you're doing there for KPRC. Everything that you just saw there earlier played out live this afternoon on KPRC TV. Stay safe now, Nick. We'll talk to you again soon. Yeah.
Will do. Thank you, Devin.
Karen.
Meantime, members of the Red Cross here in Detroit are on their way south as we speak. They're taking the emergency response vehicle, or ERV for short, to help with the relief and recovery effort. Our Tim Pamplin was there today as they set off to help victims.
Another crew being dispatched from the Red Cross Center in Detroit, heading for Houston. Rusty Langendorfer.
Here's our inspection sheet.
And her partner, Dan Harrier, go when the need arises.
It's devastating. This is about my 26th national deployment, and each one is different. Each one is catastrophic.
These two Michigan-based Red Cross volunteers say they'll arrive along the Gulf Coast sometime Saturday. They're not entirely sure where their destination is. They'll receive their orders en route. But there's no question what the need is.
Food, water, snacks, comfort.
She chuckles at comfort, but it's probably the most overlooked commodity, as many of our citizens down south have lost everything.
You know there's going to be people that are needing shelters and stuff like that, and people that are going to need food, so our intent for right now is to go down there and make sure people have stuff to eat.
Yes, many escaped with just what they had on their backs. The work to get that community back on its feet will take many months, if not years. I asked Dan what's his message going to be to those who have almost given up hope.
Just keep praying. Everybody else is praying for you.
So back at here, Rusty and Dan hit the road. They say it's going to take about 3 days for them and their supplies to get down to the devastation. They say they're going to stay as long as it takes. That's the scene with the Red Cross in Detroit. Heading south, Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
All right, Tim, and that is why our Help for Houston phone bank is up and running as we continue to work with the Red Cross to help raise money for what's going on in Texas and then into Louisiana. To donate, the phone number is 298-WDIV, 298-WDIV. Hard to think about right now, but there is another hurricane out there.
And what's so worrisome to think about is that it can go in so many different directions right now because it's so far off, but
yes,
we're hoping.
We don't want to sound the alarm. It's too early for that, but we definitely want to be vigilant with this storm because this is a big one. It is already a major hurricane, and we're talking about Irma. So let's show you the latest stats on Irma. The 5 o'clock advisory is out. This is a Category 3 storm, and you can see that the winds are at 115 miles an hour, gusting to 140. This is out over warm open water. There's really nothing in the way of this storm. 5 days out, it is expected to strengthen to a Category 4 storm with 140 mile per hour winds. This is the end of the official track. This is what comes from the National Hurricane Center, but we're going to show you the European model, which actually goes another several days out. Look what happens to this storm once we get into next weekend. This is after the holiday weekend. We'll stop it here at 10 a.m. next Sunday, and that sucker is just south of Florida. And it's got all that real estate to look at as we get into, again, 2 weeks from now. High pressure to the north, no fly zone here, so it doesn't look like it's going to be impacting the East Coast, but anybody from Florida to the Gulf Coast has to be watching this storm as we get through the next few weeks. And by the way, if that path looked familiar, guys, that was eerily similar to the one Harvey took just a couple weeks ago.
You can barely think about it at this point. Yeah. All right, Ben. In East Point, a local veteran has a new roof over his head.
Alvy Dent is a Vietnam veteran. He bought this house last October. Since then, he's noticed some leaking from the ceiling. He tells us he contacted his legislator to complain about the roof, and that's when they got involved. Fast forward to today, and thanks to Roof One, Dent is getting a brand new roof installed. And Dent's not the only one. The Owens Corning Foundation is donating roofing materials and labor to military veterans around the country.
That's great. A driver comes dangerously close to slamming into a school bus head on.
What police say caused him to veer across that center line. Plus, they are the ones who know how much damage opioid addiction can do. We'll introduce you to the parents working to help those in need before it's too late. That's next.
I teach because
New at 6.
Sexting scandal at Roseville High School. A coach there under an intense investigation accused of sending lewd photos to young girls. We have every angle of the story covered live on Local 4.
I want you for a moment to think back to 2014 and the floods in Warren and Detroit. Now think about this. You only have moments to grab everything you can grab and get out of your house. What on earth would you take? That question is a lot harder to answer than you think. I'll show you today at 6.
Every single day, 90 Americans die from an overdose on opioids, including prescription pain pills, heroin, and fentanyl. Local 4 is dedicated to bringing you in-depth coverage of Opioid Nation, an American epidemic, bringing you stories of how this crisis is impacting so many in our community. 1 in 3 families feels the pain of this opioid epidemic. Now, parents are doing what they can to help keep others from suffering like they have. As a volunteer, Angel Vicki King keeps her Hope Not Handcuffs t-shirt in her car at the ready.
What we do is through police departments, we help people with problems with addictions. They can come into a police department, they can call one of us angels, and we'll come out. No incarceration, no nothing, no questions asked. We will make the calls and get them placement and the treatment they're looking for.
Hope Not Handcuffs was started by Families Against Narcotics. Fan partners with law enforcement and community organizations to get addicts into recovery. Vicki volunteers in memory of her son Jeff, who died from a heroin overdose.
It's very fulfilling. I feel really good about it. And the first couple times I did it, I went back to my car and had a good cry, you know, because I can empathize with what they're going through, because with my son I can understand all that.
I come from a typical all-American family. Not divorced, no strife in the family, soccer coach, did all the right things. My son became an opioid addict.
John Matarella's son Anthony became addicted to prescription pain pills after an injury, then heroin. Thankfully, his son is now in recovery.
Teaching the general public how to use Narcan is very important in saving our loved one's life.
John is a nurse anesthetist. He volunteers his time to teach people how to save an addict's life if they overdose. Through FAN, he teaches free classes on how to use Narcan nasal spray.
This is one thing that we can do to save our loved ones.
Both Vicki and John using their experience with the opioid crisis to help others.
It can be anybody. There's no stigma anymore. And people got to get that in their heads. There's not a stigma. It could be anybody. It could be your father. It could be your father. It could be anybody. Anybody. Your best friend. It could be anybody.
Local 4 has teamed up with several community organizations to shine a spotlight on this opioid crisis. So make sure to join us all day next Wednesday, September 6th, for our special coverage, Opioid Nation, an American Epidemic. We'll have stories tackling this topic on every newscast and phone banks with experts prepared to answer your questions. It's all leading up to a primetime special live at 10 p.m. next Wednesday, taking an in-depth look at opioid addiction.